talking of psychopaths, Silicon Valley. Now, here's a real insight into the game here. Silicon Valley parents spy on nannies to make sure they aren't using screens around their kids and make them sign no-screen contracts. It sounds like the opening line for a joke. Did you hear the one about the Silicon Valley parents? But this is really happening. The New York Times headline, Silicon Valley nannies are phone police for kids. Brace yourself, the story says, because Silicon Valley parents are panicking big time. Experts describing the increasingly intensifying freaking out include Silicon Valley parents are increasingly obsessed with keeping their children away from screens, the ones they're selling and promoting for everyone else's kids. Even a little screen time can be so deeply addictive, some parents believe, that it's best if a child neither touches or sees any of these glittering rectangles. These particular parents, after all, deeply understand their allure. From Cupertino to San Francisco, a growing consensus has emerged that screen time is bad for kids. It follows that parents are now asking nannies to keep phones, tablets, computers, and TVs off and hidden at all times. Some are even producing no-phone contracts, which guarantee zero unauthorized screen exposure for their nannies to sign. The fear of screens has reached the level of panic in Silicon Valley, where they know what they're doing to the kids. Vigilantes now post photos to parenting message boards of possible nannies using cell phones near children, which is to say, the very people building these glowing, hyper-stimulating portals have become increasingly terrified of them. And it has put their nannies in a strange position. In the last year, everything has changed, said Shannon Zimmerman, a nanny in San Jose, who works for families that ban screen time. Parents are now much more aware of the tech they're giving their kids. Now it's like, oh no, reel it back, reel it back. Now the parents will say no screen time at all. And this will include the people that are running your Facebooks, your Googles, your Apples, your Microsofts, and all these people, because they know what it is doing to the children. And it's meant to do it to everyone else's children, but they don't want it done to theirs. I mean, if that's not a definition of psychopath, then what is? The people who are closest to tech are the most strict about it at home, said Lynn Perkins, the CEO of Urban Sitter, which he says has 500,000 babysitters in the network throughout the United States. We see that trend with our nannies very clearly. The phone contracts basically stipulate that a nanny must agree not to use any screen for any purpose in front of the child. Often there is a caveat that the nanny may take calls from the parent. We do a lot of these phone contracts now, Ms. Perkins said. We are writing agreements up in a different way to cover screen and tech use, said Julie Swales, who runs the Elizabeth Rose Agency, a high-end firm that staffs nannies and house managers for families in the region. This can be tricky. These same parents often want updates throughout the day. If the mum does call and the nanny picks it up, it's, well, what are you doing? That you're on the phone, Miss Swales said. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. She said that at least wealthy tech executives know what they want, no phones at all. The harder families to staff are those that are still unsure how to handle tech. It's almost safer to some degree in those houses because they know what they're dealing with, she said, as opposed to other families who are still trying to muddle their way through with tech. So here you have these Silicon Valley executives turning out this crap, insisting under pain of contract and dismissal, that their children are not even allowed to see it, a screen, never mind use one. What do they know that most people don't know? Just about everything about the effect of these things.